Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at the 30-second question from Digital SAT Test 1 and 32 reads. A business owner plans to purchase the same model of a chair for each of 81 employees. The total budget to spend on these chairs is $14,000, which includes 7% sales tax. Which of the following is closest to the maximum possible price per chair before sales tax the business owner could pay on his budget? So a lot of times students are at a loss as to how to approach this question. One thing you could always ask yourself is, could I pick numbers? Could I use my answer choices? For this one, we could use our answer choices because the answer choices are all possible prices per chair. So what we could do is, when you're using your answer choice, usually where do you want to start? Top, bottom, or middle? You want to start with the middle. Now, you might start with the greatest. It says maximum possible price. You might start with the greatest and start ruling them out from there. But here we could just start with one of the middle values and go higher or lower based on that middle value. So we could start with the $172.84. One thing you got to keep in mind is that you've got 7% sales tax on it. So you've got 172.84. What most students will do is they'll multiply by 0.07 and then add that to the original. But there's a shortcut here. You can multiply by 1.07 to put 7% on that original price. So then you could do it in one step. Instead of multiplying by 0.07 and adding it to the original, just multiply by 1.07 right away. So if it was an increase of 70%, then you multiply by 1.7. Increase of 17% would be 1.17 and so on. So if I multiply this by 1.07, let's see what I get. And I've got my Desmos open over here that I could use. So down below, notice here, you could click on this. This is your keyboard. You could do 172. 172.84 times 1.07. Still getting used to Desmos here. And notice it says it there, 184.93, blah, 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 blah. Now what you've got to keep in mind is you're paying for 81 chairs at that price. So each chair is going to cost $184 and it looks like 94-ish cents times 81. And again, I can use my keyboard down here times 81. What we notice is that it's $14,980. It's a little too much. So at that point, you could eliminate C and D. That's why you want to start with one middle answer choices. So instead, what do you want to test out? We're going to do the same thing with answer choice B. 161.53 times 1.07. That's to increase it by 7% because sales tax is 7%. Times 81 chairs. Whoops. And there you see it there. It's $13,999.80. So that's going to be your correct answer. Now, you could solve this a little bit more straightforward without actually using your answer choices. And I'm going to show you how. We could set up an equation. So what we've got here is we've got, let's say X equals the cost of the chairs with no tax. Then to get the cost of a chair with tax, it would be 1.07 times X. Now, keeping in mind that you have 81 of those, you're going to multiply that by 81, and that's going to get you $14,000. And from there, what we could do is we would, up here in your Desmos, you would multiply that 1.07 times 81. Whoops. And I got to get used to this myself. You don't need to hit the equal sign. It'll just appear automatically. So then you've got that it's going to be $86.67 per chair. That's going to equal $14,000. And then if you divide both sides by 86.67, In your next box over here, you do your 14, 1, 2, 3, divide 86.67. And you get $161.53 and a little bit more. You might want to make sure that it is in fact B and not C. If you rationalize, if you think through it and you're not sure, since it's a little more than 161, would it be B or C? And then if you tested it out, in other words, divided that 14,000 by answer choice B, 161.53, you would find that you are still under budget. Or if you divided it by 81, you'd find that you're still under budget. B is your correct answer. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has difficulty with percent. If there's any question you'd like to answer from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.